Good morning, my name is Steve Goto. I'm one of the horticulturists here at Rogers Gardens. This morning I want to demonstrate how to propagate and root Plumerias. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to mix my soil, and I'm going to use 50% peat moss and 50% pumice. You can also use perlite if you have that, but either one would do fine. The pumice provides really good oxygenation in the soil. It's really important that you have that so that you can have a strong established root system. Okay, so I've opened my peat moss and I'm going to put the whole bag in the bucket. And I'm going to take my pumice and I'm going to approximate about 50%. And I'm going to go ahead and add water to this and mix it. Okay, so we're going to mix. And this is what I want it to look like once it's hydrated. Springtime is a really good time to make Plumeria cuttings. I normally wait until the weather starts to warm up. March and April is a really good time. One of the things that I've experienced about making these cuttings is that you should have a cane that's long enough. About 12 inches minimum is ideal. This one's 18 inches and I'm going to use this to demonstrate how to make a cutting. Okay, so I'm going to make a cut, and all I'm going to do is just take a sharp pair of shears and cut right through the top of the stem. And if you notice that there's a lot of sap that comes out, so it's a good idea to physically do it on some sort of paper, cardboard, or a terry cloth towel. Once you cut the stem, there'll be this milky sap that's going to be running out of the bottom of the cut. That's bad to actually stick it in the ground at this time. You should actually let it dry out in the open air and wait till it turns brown or calluses before we stick our Plumeria into the soil. It takes about 7 days. When you make your cutting, it's not necessary for your plant to have leaves. You can actually do it in a very young stage like this. There is an advantage to making a cutting with young stages, but if you pick something with a leaf, make sure that we cut all the leaves off. And the reason for that is to make sure that the energy is focused in this plant, not to produce a flower, but to produce new roots. Once the cut end of the cane has been calloused or it turns brown or it's a little bit on the hard side, obviously it's not leaking anymore, this is ready to go into the soil. The first thing I do is I'll put a little bit of rooting hormone on the bottom. If you notice, I've actually moistened the cane itself so the rooting hormone will stick up. And then I'm actually going to place this into the soil about 4 inches with the rooting hormone on the bottom. And then I'm going to go ahead and pack it down firmly. Now we want to pack it down firmly and put it in an area of your house or inside of a greenhouse preferably, or you could do it inside the house or in a garage. Just make sure that the stem is immobilized so it doesn't move around, especially during some kind of wind incident. Okay, since we hydrated the peat moss and we actually put a lot of water in, once it's in a container like this and you've already stuck your Plumeria, you won't have to water for another couple of weeks, maybe 3 weeks, depending on how the weather goes. But I always check the top, but I always check the bottom of the container also to make sure that it's hydrated. Moist is good, wet is not good, especially with a new cutting without roots. If it's overly wet, you'll actually have rot at the bottom of the cane, which is going to kill your cutting. Depending on the color of the Plumeria, this one is a pink one, but it could take between 1 month and maybe 3 months for the roots to develop on the plant itself. You'll know that this one doesn't have any flowers or leaves on it, but once it actually starts to root and it actually takes hold, it'll actually develop foliage on the top of the cane. Then you know it's ready to be transplanted to another size container.